Our modern lives, our modern world is filled with conveniences. And who doesn't like conveniences? We all enjoy them. We all love them. Think about the convenience of how quickly you can heat something up or cook something in a microwave, or taking an elevator or an escalator, not having to take the stairs, or having some kind of a transportation beyond your 2 feet. Not only can you get many places faster, you can travel further, and you can be sheltered from weather. Those are just some of the most basic things that we enjoy every day, from controlled climate to electricity to transportation to food services to health services. So many conveniences in our lives. But one thing that I want to caution you against is getting too hung up and essentially stressing yourself out when any of those conveniences are interrupted. And of course, when any of our conveniences are interrupted, it's inconvenient. I know that, you know that. But sometimes we get so attached to our conveniences, and really we take a lot of these things for granted, so that when something happens and our conveniences are interrupted, we become excited, and not in a good way. We become upset. We become stressed. But a lot of the reality of that is your choice in how you react to conveniences, interruptions. So when your conveniences are interrupted, how do you respond to it, or do you react? And are your reactions adding to the stress in your life? Look, I understand that interruptions and conveniences are inconvenient, to say the least, right? Conveniences are called that for a reason. They make our lives better, easier, more enjoyable, whatever the case may be, safer in many ways, in many instances. But when those things that we expect as part of our daily experience become unavailable all of a sudden, it can be stressful. And I get it. I'm not taking away from the idea that those things, when they get interrupted, that in itself is stressful. Yes, it can be. But it is what you do with the situation from then on that will either contribute to the overall stress in your day, or it won't. So let's say that maybe your car breaks down. Having a car is a tremendous convenience, but when all of a sudden you find yourself without a car, what could that potentially mean to your day? You may be stuck at home. You may be forced to use public transportation. If that's even available to you, you may have to take a cab or some kind of an Uber or some kind of a transportation like that. You may have to rely on friends or family. You may have to miss appointments, or maybe you have to miss work and take your car in for repairs. Clearly, a big inconvenience, and it can affect many different areas in your life. And some of what happens as a result could be more serious than some of the other things that happen as a result. But the bottom line is, no matter what the situation, no matter what the inconvenience, no matter what the gravity of this interrupted convenience, it still is up to you what you do about it. Do you allow it to ruin your day, or do you simply regain focus and look for ways to salvage your day? You may have to change your entire day. I want you to understand that just because the gravity of an inconvenience is greater in one situation than another does not mean that a greater gravity of an inconvenience automatically has to mean greater stress. Again, it's up to you. So maybe it's a little inconvenience and you find yourself pretty able to deal with it. But when it's a bigger inconvenience, what do you do with that? Well, it's up to you to be pretty well prepared to deal with it. You cannot let it ruin your day. And you've probably seen some people who allow any inconvenience, any interruption, big or small, significant or insignificant, to absolutely ruin their day because that's their choice. So on the same level of reality with these things, you have the choice of it not ruining your day, regardless of how big or small this inconvenience is. You may have to reschedule an appointment, or you may have some consequences that are considerably bigger than that. But you have to put things in perspective. Will becoming more stressed and really reacting strongly to the inconvenience improve anything? No. Will it change anything? No. Will it undo anything? No. So why put yourself in a situation where you're essentially reacting strongly because of the gravity of an inconvenience, but it doesn't serve you? It didn't change anything for the better, and now you allowed it to add more stress into your life. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about life in those terms. We take so many conveniences for granted so that when there is an interruption in those conveniences, we can find ourselves reacting more strongly than we need to or than we should for our own good. Bad things happen in life, inconvenient things happen in life, and sometimes horrible things happen in life. And that's horrible, but that's also life. What you do with it is up to you. And you've probably heard me say this quote. This is, I don't know who said it, but it's a quote that I think of often. And it basically says that circumstances don't make a man, they reveal him. So this is an example of a circumstance, an interruption, inconvenience, a circumstance. Reveals you, reveals the person that you are. Are you going to react strongly or even overreact and then add to your own stress in life? Or are you going to recenter, refocus, and figure out how to make the best of what you've been dealt? And that's what I encourage you to do, is do the best with what has been handed to you so that you don't add to your own stress, but rather work towards an improvement of the situation, or getting through the situation, or getting past it, whichever the case may be. So I really want you to not get caught up in your conveniences, the conveniences of our modern life, the conveniences of your life, to such a degree that when they get interrupted, you can't function. That doesn't serve you. Think about that. That doesn't serve you at all. If your microwave breaks, if there is no electricity, you don't have to starve to death. There are ways around that. I hope you see that. You can eat regardless of that. You just don't have something that you would have to microwave. You have something else. So think about how many conveniences there are in your life. Enjoy them, appreciate them, but don't be so attached to them that when they become interrupted, you lose it. And you contribute to the stress in your life, because that doesn't serve you, my friends. So don't let interrupted conveniences ruin your day for you. Don't let it add to your stress. Take it in stride. Don't let circumstances define you. but let them reveal how strong and capable and level-headed you really are. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.